We're not realtors.
Or interior designers.
This is what the house is all about right here.
But we do go into people's homes.
Thanks, Mike.
With their permission.
We're taking you on a tour of some amazing dream homes. Dream Homes, we're taking the ultimate weekend getaway.
That's right, we're here at Rowena's Inn in Harrison Mills. This place is historic and it is full of stories. The cool thing about it is that you can boat, fly, or drive in.
Now, Peter, we've got 2 days, so we're going to do as much as possible. I'm talking wine tasting, horseback riding, a round of golf.
Wait, Bianca, you had me at wine tasting. Let's get started.
There's sometimes a magical feeling here.
Betty Ann Faulkner is the owner of Rowena's Inn, but it's more than just a business.
This place is very special to me.
That's because Betty Ann was also born in this house, built in 1924. Her family left for Vancouver when she was 7, but she came back 20 years ago.
It was really like coming back home again.
It was then that Betty Ann and her brother decided to share this part of their childhood.
We decided to open our family home to the public and become an inn.
A golf course, 4 cabins, and a restaurant later, Pretty Estates has become a community treasure here in Harrison Mills, just 2 hours from Vancouver. But locals aren't the only ones falling in love with this inn. Hollywood A-lister Mark Wahlberg and his entourage are just some of their high-profile guests.
They booked all the rooms here, and he did love the golf course.
With her children, her brother, and other family working at the business, Betty Ann has achieved a very personal goal.
It will carry on in the family as my parents had wanted it.
This is one of 5 rooms that we're in. This is Pete's room, not named after me, of course. What I love about the place is each room has its own unique feel. All the furniture is antique, and unlike a regular hotel, it's not all the same. It's all very different.
Well, it makes it more interesting for people that come to stay.
And there's not a lot of technology. You have a small alarm clock with an iPod dock on it, but I've noticed there's no TV in the rooms either. And what's the reason for that?
My brother and I decided it's a good time for couples to get to know each other again.
A TV can be distracting, so with a view like that, there's lots to do, lots to watch, and why don't we go outside and have a look at the view?
Yes.
All right. Wow, what a spectacular view here. This is incredible. Now, not only do you have a pool right in your backyard, you also have the beautiful river and a golf course here. And are you a golfer yourself?
Yes, I am, and I really love it, but I don't get out as often, and so my golfing's gone down a little bit.
Now, Bianca and I are actually going to do a little bit of golf later. Do you have any advice for a semi-amateur golfer like myself?
Just keep your head down, watch the ball, and then you're bound to hit it somewhere. Might be in the bush, mind you.
Well, Betty Ann, I think this is my favorite room in the entire inn.
Oh, lovely. This is our drawing room. It was added on in 1955.
I noticed right away 2 pieces, they look like antiques.
These are from China. They're all hand-carved. One is a desk and the other is a cabinet. My father loved Chinese antiques. They did wonderful workmanship in those days.
Now, I'm a bit of a piano player, so of course I noticed the beautiful Steinway piano you have.
Well, that was built in 1912. And we had a movie star play it one time.
Really?
One evening, and my brother went with some friends to the Cave nightclub. After the entertainment, he went backstage and invited Jimmy Durante and Frankie Lane to come for a party.
You know, I'm not familiar with those artists, but I'm sure Bianca will be. She's much, much older than I am.
Frankie Lane sang and Jimmy Durante played the piano, and he said it was the finest tone piano he had ever played.
Wow, lots of history to that piano. And speaking of history, you also have a very famous railing here.
It came out of the original Vancouver Hotel on George and Granville.
It's such a beautiful feature, and it's so beautiful when you walk into the room and you see that railing.
That railing really ties the whole room together, and it's cool to see a piece of Vancouver heritage preserved.
So here we're going to have a spot of English tea now.
Why don't you play a little tune on the piano?
Tickle the ivories a little bit?
Yeah.
That's great.
That should be fun. I will go and have them serve up the high tea for you.
Betty Ann.
Hi. Some guests would like you to play solo.
Solo?
Yes, so low they can't hear you.
You know what? I think it's best if Bianca doesn't play at all.
Wow, Betty Ann, this is quite a spread. This is high tea at Rowena's Inn.
Yes, and I hope you really enjoy it.
Looks delicious.
Yeah, it really does. Now, Betty Ann, one thing I love about this place is everything has a story. All the furniture. We could sit here for hours and talk about it. But I understand your dining room table has a bit of story as well.
My parents needed a dining room suite. Well, it just so happened that General McCrae had passed away and they were having an estate auction.
So I'm a bit of a history buff, and General McCrae and his family, well, they lived in Highcroft, moved in 1911, and that place was amazing. It had a swimming pool and an Italian garden and stables and a tea house, and well, it was pretty much the social center of Vancouver at that time.
And it was said at the time that King George VI and the Queen, when they came across Canada in 1939, were entertained at the table for dinner.
That is so cool. They were the ones on Game of Thrones, right?
I think maybe we should have a bite here. This looks delicious.
I hope you enjoy it.
It's tea time. Classic Earl Grey tea.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Peter, what's up with the pinky finger?
Pinky's up, Bianca. Smoothies in the morning, coffee, beer after work. Now, if you don't mind, let's get back to tea. I'm having a lovely time. I have to be honest, that was my first high tea, and I think I'm hooked. I'm going to have it again. But we have one tea time, and we have to get to another tea time, so...
Aha, you're off golfing.
A busy afternoon.
But before we hit the beautiful 18-hole Sandpiper golf course, we're going to take a quick break. Today on the show, we're in beautiful Harrison Mills, BC, just outside of Vancouver.
We've toured Rowena's Inn with homeowner Betty Ann Faulkner, but now it's time to check out the area and hit the golf course.
Well, Peter, I think it took all of 20 seconds to get from Rowena's Inn to the Sandpiper Golf Resort.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here, right on the river and a great course.
Me, I'm pretty new to golfing, so I'm really excited that Peter's gonna give me some tips.
Well, the best part of that is this golf pro, not a professional at all, but Bianca doesn't know that, so shh. So Bianca, what you want to do is you want to have your feet centered with the ball and be able to reach out to your ball with the end of your club. Draw a straight line with your toes where they're pointing. That's the direction your ball is going to go.
Wow, great tips, Peter. I'm really impressed. Eye on the ball. Swing.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe my swing isn't quite where it needs to be yet.
A couple more practice swings. Maybe a couple hundred more, Bianca. Well, it went the right way. You might want to stand back a little more. The crowd is forming. Stand back a little more. Oh.
I'm starting to think Peter's not so good at golf.
First one to get one in wins. Oh!
Wow.
All right, step aside. I think it's my turn. Last shot. I like golf. It's good.
Now here we are in the kitchen with executive chef Jonathan G, who is the man around here when it comes to food. Jonathan, we just played a round of golf and we worked up a bit of an appetite. Hey, Bianca.
I like this.
So, what do you have for us today?
Absolutely. We got a little appetizer just to serve at parties, and then we're going to do a little main course, chicken and pasta, and we got a little dessert finisher, some chocolate truffles.
Well, that sounds good to me.
It's a lot more than I usually cook. So.
Can we get started?
Let's do it, yeah.
So we're just going to mix a little bit of our hard cream cheese in with our fresh goat cheese, just to give it a little bit of stability. So basically, got some washed grapes right here,
Okay.
and we're just going to take a little bit of our cheese and just wrap that right around one of them.
Make sure you get seedless grapes, though, because then you get a little surprised if you don't get the seedless.
And so we can do different toppings. One of the surprising ones that I really like is actually black pepper. So you guys are famished, feel free to try them. This is just a chicken breast with the wings bone still on. We're just gonna season that with a little bit of salt and pepper into the frying pan, into the oven. So this one's the fun one where you start getting your hands dirty.
I love cooking. I do most of the cooking in my house, but I've never made fresh pasta.
This one is fantastic. It's really, really simple. Add a little bit of regular flour, and then we just start by making a hole. Now, Bianca, if you want to crack the eggs into the hole, crack, and then just pull your thumb up. You can do it.
Bianca, great technique. I'm pretty sure that was the first time she's ever cracked an egg.
Now, what we got is just a little bit of Marsala alcohol, a touch of olive oil, and a touch of salt. And what you're gonna do is just pull it into the center.
You know, that's almost like playing with your food.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it so fun.
Now, when you're making Italian food, is it customary to do it with a glass of wine?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's disrespectful not to, personally. So.
Blending it in here now. So Bianca, if you want to start by just having this one underneath so that it's going to catch onto there, and then you're just going to pull it out.
Okay.
And then we're going to take it down one more notch and put it right back in again.
So while the pasta's finishing up, you're going to teach us how to make a dessert.
This is a little chocolate truffle that we like to do around here. We've just taken semi-sweet chocolate chips, a little bit of butter and a bit of cream. We're just going to let them roll into there, and then we're going to tuck them into figs.
So good.
So we have different toppings. This one is one of my favorite: rosemary, dried cranberry, and sea salt. And then you can plop it right into a fig.
You know what I like about this? It's creative, it looks great, but it's actually quite simple.
All right, so we've done all our prep, our cooking, and we're ready to have some dinner.
Absolutely, we're gonna start plating it up here.
And just like that, we have a complete dinner.
Yeah, let's eat.
Let's do it. Well, Jonathan, thank you for the cooking lesson and the wonderful meal. Cheers. Thank you.
Whew, all that cooking was hard work. I think I even broke a sweat.
Well, Bianca, right now might be the perfect time to take a refreshing dip in the pool.
Well, Bianca, it was a pretty rough day today. It's nice to take a little R&R poolside.
And I love this pool. Peter, it's built in the 50s, but that was huge for that time. It's 72 feet long.
Yeah, Betty Ann's dad always did things big. And back in the 50s, they did a bunch of add-ons. They did the drawing room, and this property has changed a lot in the last 90 years.
But it also has the same character it did all those decades and the same amazing views.
Well, I'm glad he did things big, because I need a big nap.
Save your nap for later, Peter, because we're staying overnight at Rowena's Inn.
And tomorrow, we're checking out the neighborhood, including this local riding school and a winemaker who doesn't need a vineyard to produce award-winning wines.
Today on Dream Homes, we're making ourselves at home at Rowena's Inn on the River, the perfect spot for a weekend getaway.
We even stayed the night and woke up to a beautiful view of the river, birds chirping, and another gorgeous day in Harrison Mills, BC.
Something pretty neat about Rowena's Inn is you can choose to stay in the charming historic inn, or you can pick one of the rustic but luxurious cabins that are also on the property.
Last night, I got to stay here in this cabin. It's got a stone fireplace, 4-post bed, beautiful view from the private patio, and that bathroom, absolutely incredible, with a perfect jacuzzi.
Plus, breakfast delivered right to your front door.
Well, Bianca, I had a lovely stay here in my cabin. Woke up, a beautiful view of the water. I could hear the creek going all night.
It's just beautiful. I also had a great sleep at the inn in Pete's room.
Yeah, not mine, just it's the name of the room, as you know. Clarify, I didn't stay with Bianca last night, but figured I'd be a gentleman and invite her over for breakfast.
Wow, Peter, what an incredible breakfast and a beautiful spot to enjoy it in. Unfortunately, though, we can't stay long because we've got to go horseback riding, and then we're gonna have some wine.
I know, we've got a big day planned ahead, and I'm feeling full, charged up, and well, it's just another rough day at the office.
My name's Alicia Harper, and I'm the Program Director for Highly Training. Today we're going to give Bianca and Peter a beginner riding lesson. They are adult amateurs.
I have a pretty good feeling about today. Peter can't even get his helmet on.
There's a little bit of a competition for us. We're going to see who ends up being the better rider. The winner is heading out to the field to go for a ride. And the loser is, I'm not sure what we'll do yet, but I've definitely got something good up my sleeve. Today, Bianca's going to ride Fuzz.
Hello.
And Peter's going to be on Piper.
Peter, Piper? It's a match made in heaven.
First thing you do is stand up on the stool. Your left foot in the stirrup.
Oh, that is high.
1, 2, 3, go. Good job.
Okay, I think I'm ready to go.
1, 2, 3, and sit down nice and gently. Foot in stirrup. Good job. So to get our horse to go forward, we're going to squeeze both of our legs together. To stop, we're actually going to pull both reins back towards our hips. To turn right, we're going to pull our right rein back towards our hip. Look where we're going. The horse will follow its nose. So remember, right rein goes right, left rein goes left.
Oh, yeah.
There. Keep pulling your left rein, though. Oh. Well, Bianca's having a little bit of trouble getting your horse to go. Fuzz isn't exactly cooperative. We're going to get her to sit up, give her horse a little kick, and get moving.
Piper, let's go past Bianca and ride really, really fast. Also, don't let me fall off.
Okay, so I couldn't get my helmet on. But I took a little course in online horse whispering, and I think it's coming in handy.
Peter, I don't think that's a real school.
You have to go left, so left rein.
Oh, we're at a, excuse me, we're at a cone. Move, uh-oh.
You're the boss, remember?
I am the boss of you. Head and left.
Yep.
I think. Just, really, let's just round that corner. Come on. Our loops aren't as good as Peter's here.
No, Peter's doing amazing. You're gonna weave in and out of the cone.
So we've had a bit of a lesson today, and one of us did better than the other, and that person is going to go on a little ride in the field.
I think that's gonna be Peter.
Yes!
What?
Finally won something.
Sorry.
Oh.
Thank you for the great lesson, and thank you, Piper.
Okay, so you've got something special planned for me.
Yep, we have 16 horses here, and that's a lot of poop to shovel, so here you go.
There we go. Nice in the open field, fresh air. It's a beautiful thing.
Bianca, I feel bad that you lost the competition. So, I think it's time for a little reward.
Well, we spent the last 2 days at Rowena's Inn in Harrison Mills. We're on our way back to Vancouver with a stop off here in Dewdney at the Kermode Wildberry Winery. We're here with the owner. Tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Well, what we are is BC's first and only wildberry winery. We harvest, collect, and produce in the back here port, liqueurs, and different wines.
So you'll actually go out into the woods and across BC, find these berries, bring them back and make wine. How did you get the idea?
I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, this is what we do. We start in May with the salmon berries. We go north for the Mackenzie area for blueberries. We travel to the Kootenays for elderberries. It's basically foraging 101.
Now, when you think of a winery, you probably think of a vineyard, but this place doesn't need one because all of its berries are foraged from across the province. It's kind of the old school way of doing things though, the foraging, the hunter-gatherer type thing.
Yeah, true. And I mean, that's the type of people that really can associate with our products is, you know, smaller communities where, you know, Grandpa Joe made blackberry wine in his basement, right? So they understand what we're doing.
We're happy to, say, you know, try a wine and maybe talk about it to our friends. What do you think?
Okay, you are shameless. Have a little bit of pride. But I'm gonna try the huckleberry wine and the raspberry. Oh, could I try the blueberry too, please? Now, Fritz, you've selected 3 of your finest wild berry wines. Should we go lightest to dark and try them out?
The first one we have is a red huckleberry wine. You'll see that it's really got a nice tart flavor. The second one is going to be this alpine blueberry. There's 6 edible wild varieties that grow in BC, and we make wine from 2. The third one is a black cap raspberry. Very dark, rich, velvety.
It's delicious. Yeah, it's wonderful.
So let me get this straight. This wine is local, delicious, and sustainable? That's like guilt-free drinking.
Well, thanks so much for having us in today. And
you guys are welcome. Anytime, stop by.
Well, I think I'll be back, so cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Wow, Peter, what an incredible weekend getaway.
It was a lot of fun. Betty Ann had a lot of great stories, and I loved all of her antiques.
And the antiques were all over the inn where I stayed, and they had so much character. You, of course, were in the cabin.
I was. It was beautiful down there, right on the golf course. And actually, speaking of golf, Bianca, there's something I have to get off my chest. I've actually only been golfing once or twice in my life. Oh.
Peter, you know what? That really teased me off.
Hey, what are you doing? Keep the cheesy jokes for me, okay? Wonderful.
Yeah, and we'll just set that up on the side and we'll continue on to with the rest of it.
Bianca's, yeah, flicking stuff on her face there.
Really comfortable in the kitchen.
Yeah. Like a rhinestone cowboy. It's my theme song.
What? Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Oh, God.